Working with Access, we're creating a query where we're going to be doing a calculation. I've created the query called Elf Raises. We can see all the people and what they're going to be making next year. It's based on this Elf table, and we're going to do the query. We go into Design View. Right click here. I'm working with Access 2016. This works very similar to version 2013. Earlier versions will be somewhat different. We've got the fields here. We're going to create a query. It's like Excel. We're going to be doing two of them in here. We're going to be determining the amount of the raise, and then we are going to add it up. In Excel, you work with cell references such as C2 times D2. In this case here, we're working with field names. We're multiplying salary by raise amount, and I'm in this box down in here, and it's blank. You can also use the builder. Personally, I have found it easier to just type it out. Most of us are competent with a keyboard. So what we're going to do, it's going to be called a field name followed by a formula. I am going to do the first calculation. I'm going to call this field next year. Type it slowly. They don't like you putting spaces in there. I just type capital N Y, and now I type the colon. And what I do, I just literally type in salary. It's not case sensitive. Times, I could type in RAISE underscore amount. And then I hit the enter key. I'm going to widen this. It puts in brackets. I'm going to run the query. It's too narrow. It's giving me lots of decimal points, but we're going to fix that. We're going to make it look like $1,560. We go back into the design view. I right click inside this column. I left click on properties where it says format, drop down arrow, click on currency, run the guy. Looks much better. Go back into the design view. I could right click in the tab also. I go into design view, and I could leave this thing on over here. I could narrow this a little bit. What I want to do is call this current salary because we're in the current year, or we could call it next year's salary. I'll type in 20. I'm going to save this, okay? Should always do that. 2019 salary colon. So what it's going to be, we're going to be adding next year raise to salary. Salary, spell it right. I know it's hard to see on the screen. Plus next year raise. I hit the enter key. It puts brackets around the field names. And I could just go into here, in this column here. I could just format it as currency right now. Save again. Run it. Again, widen the column a bit. So what it's showing here is all this information. Let's say I want to hide some information. I don't want to be showing the percentages or stuff here. I could just uncheck these. That shows it. I run it. It's saying, it's asking a parameter value. It shouldn't be doing this. And something is missing. What I'm going to do now, I know why. Check these off. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I run that guy again. It's showing it in there. You would do a little bit of trial and error. I go back into here. I am going to hide the raise amount. Last year, I'm going to run this and see what happens. It's fine now. I'm going to go back here, shut off next year raise. That's a new field that I've created. I'm going to run it this time. If I say next year raise, we've got to include that specially calculated field. I go back into here. I check this off. It gets some weird rules, okay? So we've got that in here. I'm going to save it. We've got the calculations, and actually I could actually go back here, decide I want to show next year's in there, run it. We've got it. That's the basics of formulas.